We are actually going to enter a homeless camp at night. Welcome back to our channel. On today's video, we are in Clearwater, Florida, and we are going to venture into the woods looking for homeless camps. Literally, as soon as we walked into these woods, we found ourselves a tarp and an old tent here in the woods. Guys, so we're going to have to retreat for two reasons. One, I gotta go back and put on some heavier clothes because there's a lot of mosquitoes. And two, there's a lot of poison ivy everywhere. Poison ivy, mosquitoes. This spot here is not good to be in. So we're gonna retreat and try to either change our clothes or something, because this spot here, between the mosquitoes, the spiders, and the poison ivy, we're not geared up right. So I do have the right gear in the truck. Let's go get it on. I know there's a homeless camp in here. I just can't find the way in. All my senses tell me that there's a homeless camp in here. I know there's a homeless camp back here. When I first started doing these videos, it was so hard to track down these homeless camps. So what we have here, guys, is a very old and abandoned site. As I start looking around, quite literally, this is the first thing I found. See why when I walked in, I needed to wear my camo pants, my heavier boots. It's 110 degrees today, but you absolutely have to go ahead and put on a sweater. I know it sucks in the Florida heat. Literally, the next thing I find after the needle is a pill bottle. The reason so many people end up homeless is this right here, guys. 95% of the homeless people that I encounter have this problem right here. So if you've ever wondered, why do so many people end up homeless? Well, 95% of the problem is this right here. So when you enter a homeless camp like this, you gotta watch where you walk, because there really is a lot of dangers. Another danger that we have is that people booby trap these camps. What was once here, and if you look real carefully, the number one, it's insane how many needles you find in these homeless camps that are abandoned. It's just, this is what these people did. Not all homeless people are users, but in the case of 95% of the homeless camps that I go to that are abandoned, I find paraphernalia. Does that mean that every homeless person is a user? Absolutely not. But 95% of them are. Now this here is literally a jungle. So as we're walking through here, you're never too far from a needle. We have a dried up creek bed. Be really careful for the spiders back in here. They're everywhere. Wow. Giant tree. So this is a dried up riverbed. I guess during the rainy season, water flows through here, but we're at the end of the dry season. So right now, this is nothing more than a dry riverbed. Take a look here, guys. There's no telling what you could find in these woods, but only the homeless people, they'll tell each other, hey, you know, never go back over there, something bad happened. So sometimes when these camps get abandoned, it's because the homeless people know that something really bad happened and law enforcement doesn't know about it yet. But take a look at here. You have this giant tree fell, and it looks like it landed on a tent that's over there. There's no telling what you can find in these homeless camps, guys, but the mosquitoes here are insane. But look at this. This tree fell over this homeless shelter. You know, and again, the homeless people, let's say there was a homeless camp here, right? And this tree fell over somebody. The other homeless people that would have been here, they wouldn't talk to law enforcement because they're homeless. Imagine being homeless and having to talk to law enforcement about a body. That's not going to happen. You can tell that this was a spot where people were living in until law enforcement or something like the hurricane did some damage and forced people out, because it looks like there were wide open trails. I think one of the craziest things about this site is just the vegetation that's out here. This is quite literally a jungle back here. The most incredible thing about the site is just the size of the trees out here. It's insane. Here's another monstrosity of a plant. Now the sweat's rolling in my eyes. Wow, this tree is just so gigantic. Wow. Oh, get these spider webs off me. The size of these trees is just, I don't think videos can do justice. These are just incredibly massive trees. I'm not sure why this site would seem like it should have much more homelessness than what it actually does. One of the many freaking dangers of what we do. Look at those thorns. Just freaking impale the life out of me there with those thorns. And here, I can test this creek out before it's just jumping into it. There we go. Very solid and compact. Okay, cool. And so that's what I wanted to do. It tells me not to just blindly jump into this creek. If somebody's homeless and living in the woods and they're living a life of crime and theft to support their habit, they don't need to be left alone. They need to be helped. So to the people that say, you know, leave them alone or don't bother them, or, you know, why are you bothering these people? Man, I would love to metal detect back here. I gotta come back for my metal detector one day. There's no telling what you could find in a spot like this. Of course, today it's too late to do it, but, and too hot and humid, of course, as well. But, you know, in the future, I know where the spot is, and I'll check it out with my metal detector. Look, there's another cave right there. Maybe raccoons or possums are living in there. But to the people that say, leave the homeless people alone and don't bother them. By the way, these things right here, it's like a little ball. If anybody knows what that is, please let me know in the comment section. You find these in Florida all the time. I just can't remember what they're called. It's like a ball. It's a seed to a plant. But to the people that say, you know, just let them be, leave them alone, and they need those, you know, that's not the right attitude. The right attitude is, if you're living out in the woods and you're just shooting up and you're living a life of crime and debauchery against society, you need help. You need to go, and, you know, the government needs to have places where they can go and get them the help they need. I know the smell of a homeless camp, and we are near one. I just can't figure out where the crap it is. Then you got the people that are mad at me for recording it, right? Why aren't you mad at the dealers that are killing these people for a profit? You know, the hypocrisy of being mad at me for recording, right? But not being mad at the dealers. Not being mad at the government, who should be helping these people, you know, get the help they need, but they don't. Nobody says, oh, the dealers are doing something horrible to these people. No, nobody says that. What do they say? Oh, the YouTuber. The YouTuber's horrible for exposing the situation. So we're going to be mad at the YouTuber for exposing it, but we're not mad at the dealers. For the most part, it's pretty firm, guys. And this looks vastly undiscovered back here. Nobody's mad at the government for not helping them. Nobody's mad at the dealers for taking advantage of these people. Nobody's mad at the homeless people for trashing other people's properties. How's that? The destruction that these people cause to other people's property. Nobody's mad at them for destroying people's properties. What if you buy a piece of property, you know, piece of land, residential or commercial, and just a piece of land, and a bunch of homeless people come in and bring in, oh crap, I almost sunk. See, that's why you gotta be careful. That's why I told you guys, there's spots in this creek where it might be firm over here, but you hit one spot and boy, you'll sink right through it. But I find it fascinating, you know, that nobody is mad at the right people. They're not mad at the dealers. They're not mad at the government. They're not mad at the city. Even the homeless people, right, for destroying these properties, because boy, are they causing havoc to property owners. Nope. Who are you mad at? You're mad at me, the YouTuber, for exposing the story. A story that needs to be exposed, because our Florida natural resources are being destroyed by the proliferation of homelessness. I just feel like we're mad at all the wrong people. These people need government housing. They need help. There's a difference between somebody who's legitimately homeless because of their mental illness, missing a leg. Even diabetes affects a lot of people, you know? These people need help. I pay a lot of taxes. Boy, do I pay a lot of taxes every year. You know, some of these drug users spend thousands of dollars on their addiction every month. I ask them on video and they tell me, I spend $120 a day on this. Boy, if you just grab the iPhone, right, and start uploading some YouTube videos about your life in the woods, you could probably afford to live in a freaking apartment like I do. But instead of using that money for something profitable, you're using it to destroy yourself. Don't get me wrong. I believe in helping the elderly, the sick, the infirm, the mentally ill. But I'm not retarded either. All right, everybody. So we are actually going to enter a homeless camp at night. Here we go. Here's our first homeless camp right here. So we have our first homeless camp here. And we have to keep our head on a swivel. Out here at night, we can get ambushed. I'm pretty sure this is going to be an inhabited site. So we just gotta keep our head on a swivel. This site is gonna be super dangerous. More than dangerous than usual. Gotta watch my back. This site is super complicated. I've never felt this nervous doing a homeless camp video with reason. Kid you not. I literally want to back out at this point. Yeah. My biggest fear is somebody ambushing me. So many places where somebody could literally ambush you. So, booby traps at night, that's the other real danger, is that they set up booby traps at night. Inside a homeless camp is a little bit more precarious. But you know, normally I do these homeless camp videos, I don't. I feel like if you're armed, you're always looking as that as your way out of a problem or situation, when in reality, you should always, your number one, somebody's moving up there. What the crap is that? A raccoon or something? It's big. Maybe a cat or a bear. Oh no. It's big. Looks like a bear or something. We hit a tripwire right here. Huh. Gotta be real careful at night. They set tripwires and everything to catch you if you're stealing or whatever. But and you guys wonder, am I scared? Absolutely. This is frightening. But you know, in life you have to face whatever your fears are. There's people that have to live in these places. Okay, so from here on, it's no longer like wide open. It's kind of like trails and stuff. I'm gonna climb up over this hill and see what's on this side. You can actually see the lights from the runway over there, the blue and, you can actually make out the blue and yellow from the runway. Coming through. Just working. Holy crap. Okay. Coming through. Okay. Shoes and stuff. I don't know if this is an abandoned site or a recent site. Just coming through. There's a pot right there, cast iron. You could whack somebody with that thing. Alright. So we are inside of a homeless camp at night. I'm gonna kind of slow it down and let me make sure there's nobody here before I start looking around too much. There's a bed right there. But you can see just kind of all types of crap in here. Anybody here? Just coming through. Hello, anybody here? Coming through. Anybody here? Wow, okay. Looks like nobody's here. There's a phone number to the camp, cool. Okay. So here's somebody's camp. They got a crapper and a bed here in the woods. The only danger of being out here at night is somebody could see the light and come out for me. He's done a real smart thing. He's left his phone number here in case somebody wants to call him. That's pretty smart. But you can see he's got a mattress and kind of like a mattress out in the woods at night. Tarp and a mattress, very simple. And it's very smart of him to leave his phone number on the entrance of the camp in case, you know, somebody would come up and they wanted to talk to him or see, you know, who he was. Got a garbage pile here. More complicated. Here's a hill here. Coming through. There's a hill here with some survey work on top of it. I do hear people. Look at the, what was that? A flying rat? There it is. What is it? Flying? It's a flying rat or squirrel. You guys catch that? Probably up the tree by now. That's pretty cool. You don't see that every day. Here's a shell mound. You guys see that? That was pretty cool, huh? A flying squirrel. I've never seen one. There are people talking in the background. I can hear them. This camp might be abandoned. I think if it was inhabited, there'd be more people back here, a lot more people. Barrel there, kind of like a garbage can. There's a garbage can. There's like these trenches. There's just water in it. So it's just a garbage can to catch water right here. Pretty smart. These people would live. But then you think, probably the last place you'd think about looking. I know there's actually a lot of camps back here, guys, but making your way through this crap at night is easier said than done. So this is where they're showering. Got a pot, barrel of water. So the initial adrenaline has kind of gone away on me. I'm kind of back to normal levels of adrenaline. When I first came in here, my adrenaline was just through the freaking roof, bro. I mean, my adrenaline was like, wow. Usually it's got these little sticky things that'll get on you. Oh, slip and slide records. Giant freaking bug coming at me. I like the light, which is right over my face. Coming through. We were literally in front of this camp and didn't see it. Boy, does this one look scary. See what I'm saying? At night, your field of vision is limited. This one looks abandoned, but we walked right past this one and didn't even notice it, you know? And that's the thing about at night. Like I said, your field of vision is limited. Like you could be walking past somebody's camp and not notice that you walked right past it, and next thing you know, you're getting ambushed. The adrenaline of this is just the amount of animals that you hear moving through the woods. Creepy. I think we're pretty much out to the free road now. I can see some cars, and actually there's gonna be more camps back in here, but I think we're good to go. And there's actually in this parking lot, there's actually a few people just living in their cars. Like they're probably living in their car right there. They got a tarp up. They're probably living in their car right there. They got a tarp up. Let me just show you guys how many people are living in this parking lot. They're living in their car. They're living in their car. You can see 1, 2, 3 campers here, and 5 other cars. Probably 3 of them are people living in them. This person here is living in their car. You can just tell by the vibe. These are all people that are living in cars, guys. Horrible. These are all people living in cars. It's so sad. It smells horrendous too. But this is basically the reality of Florida. And you know, these people here don't look like junkies. These people look like just they're down on their luck. You know? Can you imagine that? And there it is, the airplane right there. So I'm telling you, this homeless camp is literally at the base of an airport. You know?